Hi guys, this is Rehan Kapoor, and this is the my क्या है ये बे? This is the My Way show, and today's guests are Nireth Alva and Nice. अबे लिखना भी नहीं आता क्या? Naistika.
This is Nireth Alva, an experienced journalist and reporter, now our energizing faculty at Srishti Manipal Institute of Art, Design and Technology. This is Naistika Rathod, also known as Little Blue, a second-year DMA student. All her quirks will keep you entertained.
Good morning and welcome back to the That's the Way.
MAHE Way show.
I'm Maya Mukherjee
I'm Kabir Oberoi.
and we're joined by our lovely guests today. We have Naistika Rathod, who's a second year in Srishti.
And a wonderful faculty and journalist, Nireth Alva.
Today we're going to be having our conversations with N1 and N2 and N6 and just talk about how it's back to be on-site and offline finally after such a long time. But yeah, Naistika, how's it like being back on campus?
It's really nice because foundation year, I didn't understand anything. Everything was online. We never had our cameras on. We barely understood anything with the network issues and everything. And out here, I'm getting to meet new people, getting to interact with faculty, telling them what I'm struggling with, getting help. And it's really nice being back.
You're from Nagpur, right?
Yeah.
How's the journey from Nagpur to Bangalore been?
It's pretty nice. I moved to a bigger city, obviously. So, Nagpur didn't have a Starbucks, but we have good oranges. And we have 0 Mile, which is the exact center of India. And it has good weather, but so does Bangalore, obviously.
Yeah.
But moving out for college was a big step. And I miss home sometimes.
Talking of journeys, how was your journey like starting out as a reporter and then, finally coming here teaching at Srishti?
Yeah, back in the late 80s when I started, weren't too many options. So I started as a trainee reporter, script writer. Sometimes your tongue struggles with these things. At the Press Trust of India Television Service. We pretty much had to teach yourself everything on the job. But it was also easier in the sense that things were highly specialized. A camera person did camera, a sound recordist did sound, a reporter did reporting, and an editor did editing. And now, all the roles are sort of, merging and everybody does everything. And so I started out like that. There was only one national channel, so your work got noticed. And over time, did a lot of things over many, many years, and then landed up at Srishti to mentor students here.
Talking of online classes, you took an online class. So how was your experience like, after teaching on campus for like so long, suddenly going off online?
You judge your success not by the class so much as how many cameras were switched on and how many people asked sharp questions in your class. But that's not what you got into, teaching to do. You did it for the face-to-face interactions, the energy, and learning, responding to how students are responding to you in the moment rather than online. So I'm really glad that things are back to normal, so to speak. For how long I don't know, but things seem to be good at the moment. Yeah.
How was that like, online classes? Did you ask any sharp questions? How many classes were you really asleep for?
Good question. Quite a few actually. Also network issues. So I was just like, you know what? I'll take a nap, and I never woke up. And I found out that I was the only kid left in class because everyone else left. And the few times I tried to pay attention, sometimes I could communicate because I'm really awkward. In online classes, you feel like everyone's just listening to you because you're the only one speaking. Whereas you can have a one-on-one conversation in person with your faculty when it's offline.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was a problem.
Speaking of problems, as a journalist, I'm sure you faced several risky situations in the past.
Actually, it's really strange when you ask a question like that. There are so many incidents, it's difficult to remember. But some of them have to do with doing interviews with militant leaders and things and asking them tough questions, because that's the way we grew up. When we grew up as journalists in this field, we were told you have to learn how to talk truth to power, ask questions that the audience wants to ask is never getting a chance to ask. Always find balance in your story. And so it's frustrating to see how journalism seems to have become now. You know, everybody, it's black and white. You're either in one camp or the other. You're not allowed to have an independent opinion. So it's sad. But when we were growing up, so you took that very, very seriously. So it's a very noble profession. It's a scary one. And if it's done in the right spirit, it can be very meaningful, but it's also very dangerous.
Our research team found out that you were an executive producer for Gully Gully Simpson. And that was my favorite show when I was a child, okay? So what was that like?
Yeah, it was a big first for us because Sesame Workshop sent down a team to shortlist a production partner in India. They shortlisted 3 or 4 companies and much bigger than ours. Those guys made huge pitches. And then they came to our sort of ramshackle office and they said, you know, how will you go about it? And we said, we have no idea. But if we do get the project, we can assure you that this is our vision for the project. They gave us a project because they said, you're the only guys humble enough to say we have no clue about the childhood development phase between 2 and 8, but we'll find out. And we will. And so we went to New York, we workshopped there for ages, and then, you know, we came back, and it was an amazing experience because in one episode you needed to have original animation, you needed to have Muppets. We created special Muppets for India, characters who would be representative of Indian children like Chumki and Googly. And you needed to create that craft which nobody had, how to talk to camera with a Muppet while doing the voice with an actor, and you know, reacting to other participants, sometimes a top Bollywood star or things, you know, as the Muppet. And then you had live action, you had a whole huge set that had to be created, people inhabiting that street. So it was an amazing experience. We did it for 5 years and set up the whole brand and Sesame Workshop in India, Gully Gully Simpson.
I feel like the only common factor Gully Gully Simpson and Srishti students have is the amount of colors that we see. Your hair is quite a vibrant shade of blue. So I feel like the only risks we really face are the risk of losing our hair by the time we're 30. At least every time I tried to dye my hair when I was younger, my mother would come up to me and be like, by the time you're 30, you're going to be bald and you're not going to have any hair anymore. So being in Srishti, it's quite accepted, right? Everyone's expressing their opinion. But how is it when you go back to Nagpur or back home or to different places to see this?
I was about to ask that question actually.
So I've had blue hair for a really long time and I keep changing it. And back home, people used to stare at me, call me names, and it was really weird. Like I could walk on the street and people would just like point at me and say alien, and I was like, okay. And out here, like Srishti is just so accepting. It's like,
oh,
we have a power cut. Looks like
one of the many problems we face on a daily basis. Oh, it's back.
It's back. That's
Oh,
the way.
good.
By the way.
Yeah.
We just keep going, yeah.
Little board. It's a sign from the universe.
Yeah.
Continue. Sorry.
yeah. So basically, in Srishti, I've been able to express myself better. Like, I have the freedom to do whatever I want with my appearance. I got piercings, tattoos, and nobody judges me out here. Everyone's like me, everyone's doing something different to their appearance, whatever makes them feel more themselves. And like, it feels good to be accepted. Like, my family's always been really supportive. It's nice to have people like you around you all the time.
Now it's time for some crazy games. It's time for the rapid fire round, or as we call it, the Agni Pariksha.
Yes. So, this game, we're just going to ask you a variety of questions. Some of them can be what someone would say philosophical.
Deep questions.
Deep questions.
Yeah.
Some of them would be very surface level, just trying to get to know you as a person. And you have to answer rapidly as the game says.
Yes, okay.
No, like,
Okay.
you don't get time to think. Just snap, you answer.
Who would like to go first? Is there any
I'll do this
volunteers?
first quickly, yeah. It's better not to wait, yeah.
Okay. Let's go. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
On the count
Let's
of 3.
go. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, begin.
What time did you wake up?
I get up at 5:15 every morning.
What's your favorite movie?
One of the later James Bonds.
Something no one knows about you.
Very few things nobody knows about me because, in this context, people don't know that, I belong to some prayer groups where I pray for people.
A book you recommend?
The Purpose, Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning.
Someone you look up to?
Mother Teresa.
Someone you hate.
I don't hate anyone.
What are your key growth areas?
I think giving much sharper feedback, learning from my co-faculty to give much sharper and sometimes even if it's slightly disturbing feedback to students, I tend to sugarcoat stuff too much.
A 4-letter word that starts with N.
None, N-O-N-E.
At what time did time begin?
What time did time begin? Depending on your philosophical system and depending on how you look at the world, time, from one point of view, depending on how you define it, time had no beginning and will not have an end.
Okay. When were you the happiest?
That's that's such a deep question, philosophical question. I think, sorry, I need to answer that the wrong Happy is really a relative term. If you look at the root of the word happiness, it comes from events, so certain things happening to make you happy. So I'm not comfortable with that word. It's more like I would like to use the word at peace in equilibrium. I love the word equilibrium. So that happens very, very often whenever I feel that my thoughts, words and actions are in sync. For me, equilibrium comes if I feel that my inner life and my outer life, there is no discrepancy, that I am not pretending to be something outwardly that I am not inside. So I keep trying to find that balance, to be able to say in that moment what I need to say and not feel I'm holding something back or being hypocritical or humble. That is my struggle. It's a daily struggle. It's not easy, but that's what I aspire to. There are no gaps between inner and outer.
The last question.
Oh yes, this is the question
You have forgotten to
of
ask
the
her a
night.
rapid
No, we
fire.
have a
Next,
round
yeah.
is after yours.
Yeah. Now this
A round is
is
after yours.
the
This is the question of the night.
Yes. हमें डिग्री मिलेगी क्या?
हमें डिग्री मिलेगी क्या?
आपको बिल्कुल डिग्री मिलेगी, क्यों नहीं मिलेगी, मिलनी ही है. अगर आप BCU की बात कर रहे हैं तो BCU is actually unfortunately had to go to court, so we're not even, it's sub judice, but बिल्कुल मिलेगी and I think the hearing is coming up fairly soon.
Great.
Okay. Moving on to Little Miss Blue's rapid fire. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, start. What time did you wake up today?
8:30.
Favorite part about college?
Being here.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
Best subject in school?
Math.
Worst subject in school?
Social studies.
Pet peeve?
People who chew loudly.
Blue or purple?
Blue.
If you had to come up with a tagline for your life, what would it be?
For my life, it's full of ups and downs.
Okay. If you woke up as a Srishti faculty tomorrow morning, what is the first thing you'd do?
I don't know, sleep for a little longer because I've noticed sometimes faculty shows up later than us.
If you woke up as a millionaire and you had 24 hours, what would you do?
Party.
Party. Is the opposite of opposite the same or the opposite?
Opposite.
Why?
Because the opposite of
Opposite.
wrong is right, but the opposite of right is left. So, that could be different.
And last
That
question.
really stumped her.
I was so confused for a minute. Last question. Are we living or are we really dying?
Oh, we're living till we die.
But are we living? Is the process living or dying?
It's dying slowly. Really slowly.
Other than the fact that oblivion is inevitable and we're all going to die one day and nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow and like
Anyways, to lighten the mood, let's bring out the gifts.
yes.
So,
Gift time. Okay.
hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. This is for you.
Thank you.
Might hit
Yeah.
close to home.
Nagpur oranges.
Specifically Nagpur oranges.
And for our very energetic faculty,
Keeps
here,
us charged all day.
We have batteries.
Very much. Very appropriate.
Yes. Very useful also.
Thank you.
Anyway, it was brilliant having you all on set today. It was great talking to you all. Look forward to meeting you all soon again if this goes on. But thank you for being here. Any last words anyone would like to share? Anything they'd like to say?
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
this
you so
has
much.
been Maya Mukherjee and
Kabir Oberoi,
this show is That's the Way.
the MAHE Way show.
See you all next time. Bye.
That's the way.